Hello and welcome back to the Coach Harris Show. Thank you so much for listening in. This is episode 10, double digits. It's only been 8 days since I launched the show. We're pumping out episodes. I hope they've been helpful for you, and there are much more episodes to come. Today's topic is going to be all about why I think you should at least consider exercising every single day. And more so than just exercise, right? General activity. I'm talking about something challenging. Whether that's cardio focused or strength focused or even mobility focused, something that puts you a little bit into that uncomfortable place that we all know so well and leaves you there for a little bit, a little bit of time. We're going to talk about why this could potentially be a huge solution to a lot of common problems in fitness with motivation, with consistency, etc. Before you jump to a potential conclusion of what I might get to, if it's a good strategy or bad strategy, if it's going to work for you or not, hear me out, listen to the full episode because there's going to be a lot of context that you need to take into consideration. All right. So before we get to the main points, as always, I want to bring up my email list if it is something that might be able to help you further. You're already listening to the podcast, which tells me that you are interested in what I'm all about, and that is helping people grow stronger through simple, practical approaches, things that we can do daily to better our physical, emotional, and mental strength. All right. If you want deeper health, potentially custom health, completely for free, my best free offer out there, the email list is going to be the place where you can ask your most pressing questions, and I will be the most likely to get back to you in depth. Furthermore, the email list is something that I will start to put more of my client work into, meaning the amazing work that my clients are achieving, the things that they're doing, the strategies that we are taking to help them reach their most pressing goals. I'm going to be explaining some of that throughout the email list over the next weeks and months, etc. So if you want to take a look into coaching and potentially get some of that benefit, the email list is there for you. All the information you need to know is right in the description. All right, that's enough of that. Let's get to the topic, training daily. If you are like me and most people, you have seen countless articles, countless Instagram posts, countless people saying that you need rest, you need recovery from fitness, you need days off, certain days off. And that is true in context. Context is key, remember. Yes, you need to recover, all right? But, here's a big but. You don't necessarily need to have full rest days, all right? A lot of times I think people get kind of caught up in these black and white statements saying, should I take a rest day? Should I not? Do I need this? Do I need that? And that's not always a helpful way of thinking because it's not that extreme, all right? Yes, you need to recover, but no, you do not need to take all the time or necessarily ever, right? It depends on your case, so bear with me on that point, but you don't necessarily need to take a full rest day, meaning you don't move your body or don't do anything, right? Furthermore, as well, I don't know why I said those two words back to back. That didn't make sense, but we're going to keep rocking. You don't need to take it easy every single day. You can challenge yourself. You can push yourself every day as long as you are smart and aware of your body, okay? This is going to be something that, of course, is developed over time and through experience. I am very aware that it's hard for people, especially starting out in fitness, to be self-aware enough of their movement, their body, to train every day and adjust as needed, right? That's why coaching can be helpful, or at least having somebody that understands this stuff to be there with you or for you. But regardless, as you put in the reps, as you practice, you're going to be better and better at becoming aware and doing what's called auto-regulation with your exercise. That's a fancy way of saying you have a plan, you have something you want to do daily, but on the days where you feel groggy, slower, weaker, potentially a little more fragile, you will still get the work in, you'll still move, you'll still challenge yourself, but maybe you'll vary up how you do that or vary up the volume of what you do, right? The total amount of work. Or you'll vary the intensity, how much weight you use or how much resistance there is, all right? All of these things are viable options, but the goal is simple, is to challenge yourself physically daily. Now to the point of the conversation with the benefits of this, all right? Again, it's not for everybody necessarily, but I kind of think it could be. You may, and I say may because I don't know exactly, but most people, myself included, have a lot of moments, hours, days, weeks, whatever periods of time where we feel a lack of direction with our fitness. We feel a lack of clarity, a lack of purpose, a lack of motivation. Sure as hell, that's a common one with me and a lot of people, right? There's going to be something where you just don't feel like you are head on, energetic, confident in where you're going, what you need to do. That's where this daily challenge idea can come in, because when we don't give ourselves kind of the non-negotiable of a daily challenge, we give ourselves outs. We give ourselves excuses, potentially. There's nothing wrong with having a 3 or 4 day workout plan a week, right? I do that with my clients all the time. It's a very common thing as far as full strength training days, whatever it is. But when the days aren't specified as every single day, right, when there's these gaps, sometimes some people, especially when life gets in the way, we may push it to the next day, which is fine on occasion, but that next day could become the day after that. And things can kind of domino effect out of control to where we say, you know what, I'm going to get started next Monday. Now we wait 4 days. And then it's a really crazy period in our life and we feel so out of it. Let's wait till the first of the month, right? 10 days from now. And then you kind of just really never get into the rhythm. So my argument for a challenging thing every day, which again, at the end of the episode, I'm going to explain more how this can happen in practicality, is that you don't give yourself that out. It's not, oh, I can do it tomorrow. I don't feel perfect today. I don't feel ready today, so I'll do it tomorrow. It's, I don't give a shit how I feel right now. I committed to myself. I committed to this. I'm going to do something. If I'm planning 20 minutes and I have such a crazy day that I can only get in 2 minutes, which I don't think really is ever realistic because we should all have at least 5 to 10 minutes a day at the very least. But if I only have 2 minutes, I can definitely be creative and do something very tough for 2 minutes, right? It's more about the discipline and the habit, even more so the habit. Keeping that habit, keeping that commitment to ourselves. That is inspiring, it's motivating, and it makes us proud of ourselves, which is very, very underrated. Having pride in ourselves in a wholesome way is a very strong indicator of success, right? When you are not proud of yourself, when you feel crappy about yourself, when you feel groggy, you feel lazy, you're going to identify with that and take actions in that direction. But when you feel proud of yourself, when you feel like a person who does what they say they're going to do, you are going to act like that person more often. All right? And that all comes back to the idea of this is what I do. I am a person who trains every day. Not necessarily a person who trains 60 minutes every day or does 20 hard sets every day. There's no perfect metric. I'm not telling you that you need to do a lot or a ton of things or have any overzealous type of programming that makes you feel like you are stuck. No. This is flexible. The only thing that isn't flexible in this approach is you do it every day. Today is March 8th, 2021. I am on day 3 of a squat everyday protocol. This is a pretty well-known strength protocol in the strength and conditioning world. And I've done it a few times in the past. I'm coming back to it once again because I've always loved it so much. Not for the physical benefits alone, not for the strength benefits alone, while those are very nice, I will admit, but for the discipline that it requires, for the consistency, for the habit that it demands. Knowing that I have, once again, we're coming back to this theme of committing to something. It's very, very important to have commitment in our lives, in our fitness. It doesn't always matter what it is. That's for you to decide. But to be able to commit to something for a short period of time or for a long period of time and stick with it builds pride, it builds character, it builds confidence, and it builds momentum towards success. So the commitment that I have to make when I tell myself and put out into the world that I will be squatting every day for whatever period of time it is. In the past, it was 28 days. This time, I'm planning to do a little bit longer, maybe a lot longer. I don't know. Feels good, honestly. It really feels good because when I wake up, I know that there is one thing every day that I am in control of and that I am required to stay consistent with, and that is my daily squats. If I add in additional workouts, like for example, as I'm saying this, I just finished up day 3. After my squats, I did some staggered stance deadlifts with a kettlebell. I did some bent over barbell rows. I did some kettlebell floor presses, right? I got a full body workout in, but my daily squats is the bare minimum commitment. It feels very good. And I'm not requiring myself to hit a certain weight every day or to do a certain volume of sets or reps, right? It's generally going to be at least a little challenging. That's the main part, but it's every day. So to wrap up, back to you, I encourage you again to not necessarily do this or to not do it, but to consider it, to try it, and to see how it can work for you. Because I can't stress this enough. It is flexible to you, to your life, to your experiences. The only thing that is not flexible in this approach, that is required to do it the way that I am thinking of it, is that you do something every day that is at least a little bit challenging. Recovery is paramount, right? Intelligence with your body and what you're doing and safety is absolutely crucial. But that aside, if you are recovering, if you are feeling safe, if you are doing the proper things that work for your body, push yourself, right? We're not fragile. We're not brittle snowflakes. We're badass people, and we can handle some shit, some weight, some resistance, some intensity. So do that every day. Try it out, all right? If you're curious about specifics, right, how this can apply to you personally, the general recommendation that I can say, not knowing where exactly you're at right now, is pick one movement that you do every day, right? In some cases, it doesn't have to be the same movement. It can just be movement in general, something challenging, which I actually like a lot as well. But because I don't know your specific case, right, I'm not going to recommend a handful of movements that you do every single day because it's just going to depend. So if you want to try that, go for it. But what I can say as a good experiment is pick one movement as your daily minimum, make it challenging, and then do whatever else you need in addition. The reason that I have picked the squat, and that's just what works for me right now. I'm not saying that you should be squatting every day or doing heavy squats every day, not necessarily. But the reason I'm doing it is honestly because I'm proficient at it. I have the proper technique. I know how to brace my core properly. I have the joint integrity and movement capability to do it well, which means it's going to be safer. And I also know how to, as I mentioned earlier, auto-regulate, right? I'm not just maxing out every day. Definitely not. I have a plan, I go by feel, and I adjust accordingly. So for you, that could look like something similar. It could be a heavy movement if you're capable right now. Or it could be bodyweight squats. It could be planks. It could be push-ups. It could be running if you love running. It could be swimming, anything. But the idea is to do it every day. Set a time. I like at least 4 weeks. So I think 28 days, 30 days is like a nice challenge. Enough to make it really something you have to commit to, right? Not just a few days, 6 days, 7 days, but about a month. Go for a month. Make it tough, right? Not to where you're bleeding out of your eyeballs and you feel absolutely destroyed every day. Definitely not. Again, you want to recover. But enough where you enter into that place of, ugh, this is a little uncomfortable, right? My heart's beating a little bit fast. My muscles are a little bit on fire. I'm pushing some resistance that's not so easy to get off my back or off whatever movement you're doing, right? Challenge yourself. Some days you'll challenge yourself a ton, some days just a little bit, but you challenge yourself every day for at least a month with one movement. Try that experiment and let me know how it goes, all right? Finally, I will come back to the idea of my email list. I can't stress it enough how open I am with that thing. I really, really want to communicate with you. I love to do it. But I have to keep it in one place for the most part because it's just too crazy for me to be responding all over the place all day, every day. So the email list is where I put my attention in terms of personalized answers, right? Besides actual coaching, that is the best place. Description below, jump on the email list if you think it'll help you, right? I send emails right now, Monday through Friday, every day. It might change in the future. And ask me your questions. If you're into this episode and this idea, Tell me the thoughts you have, right? Do some critical thinking about what exercises might be good for your daily challenge. Let me know. Let me know your case. If you want some guidance, I'm happy to assist you. Just put the episode title or number in the subject line of your email. Let me know, and we can have a conversation back and forth as long as it takes to make something stick for you. Thank you so much for listening. Once again, this is Harris. I appreciate you a lot, and I will see you in the next episode.